Aquarians, June is going to rock your world. Stay tuned for all the deets. Hello all, Stacy the Black Feather Intuitive, and welcome to my Aligned Astro Chat. This is our Transformational Tarot and Astrology reading connected to the Black Feather Couture Divining a VIP Life YouTube show series that I run. And I'm so excited to be connecting to this energy for you guys in this month. And astrologically speaking, there is quite a bit going on in this month, and I feel like it's all there for you to harness it. And I do feel that it's going to rock your world. So I am going to be pulling cards. This is Mr. Neo, by the way. It's close to dinner time, and so he's just letting me know, Mama, in case you forgot, I have a stomach. I have a stomach, and it's empty, and it needs food. And this guy is free fed, so there's food out there. But man, oh man, do they ever know when it's dinner time. So I'm going to pull an overarching theme for you from the Sacred Creators Oracle deck. And then the deck I've chosen to pull cards from for you guys is the Out of Hand Tarot from Jamie Sawyer. It's a really unique deck. I think you're going to love it. Okay, so let's switch on over here to our deck. And you get a little cat butt in the face. I'm going to work around him for a little bit, and then when it gets to be too much, we're going to scooch his butt off the table. Yes, I am that animal lover that sacrifices for the fur babies. So let's see what we've got for you as the overarching energy for June. Okay, Fuzz, now you're in the way. Thank you. Limitations inspire innovations. Oh, my Aquarius peeps, this is really, really important. So while I don't feel that you're going to be, limited the whole month and, you're not going to feel like there's much that you can do, I do feel that there are going to be two particular incidents where you are setting out to begin something new and different, and something gets in the way. And the first time you're just going to be annoyed and you're going to try to do it the second time. The second time you're going to go, wait a second. I think there's something to this. There's something I'm supposed to be paying attention to here. And I want to say it's because you do need to go back to the drawing board on what this is. Not because, your plan is bad, not because you're not doing something right. I feel more like this is actually about there being something better, something more expansive, or something that you can add to in addition to. But you have to go back to the drawing board in order to be open to receiving the guided inspiration as it comes forward and comes through for you. And that feels really, really important. Okay, so currently, where are you at in the present? Where are you right now in your transformational energy in June? And what part of you is shifting, rising, or dissolving? Interesting. Four of Swords. I love this. I feel that the part of you that is shifting, I feel that's the word that's standing out to me, is this understanding that you have been in truce mode with yourself as well as with a few other people in your life. And I feel like what's shifting out of that is moving out of truce. Well, why do we have truce? We have truce because there's conflict. It's putting a pause on the conflict. I feel like you're moving out of the conflict, but in order to move out of the conflict, you have to take the risk and let go of the truce in order to have conversation. And I feel like this is really important. When I look at the cards here, there's ritual here. This is an altar. This is somebody that's going to the altar, that's asking for help and support, that has set up a ritual to help them feel a bit of structure, to feel a bit of direction around this truce, to make this truce matter. And I feel like this, in essence, is where you're at. Where in my life do I have these conflicts that keep stopping me from moving forward, that are niggling me in the back of my mind? It might not bother me in an obvious way, but it's still taking up energy. And that energy is something that I need in order to be able to move into this innovative space, because I'm so ready to be done with limitation. I'm so ready to release all of this and be able to move forward into something that lights my fire and floats my boat. But right now, I've got a lot of these situations where there is discord, there is disagreement, there is conflict, and I keep putting it to the side. I keep compartmentalizing it. This, I feel, is where you're at right now, and you're recognizing I can't keep doing that. I've got to actually deal with some of these things. I got to take some of these things off my plate. Otherwise, I'm really going to be in some serious trouble. And I'm not doing things that I love. I'm not able to do things that are lighting my fire and floating my boat. And that's what it's about for you right now, is reconnecting to your passions. The catalyst for you in June, what's fueling or hindering your transformation? Is this resistance or rocket fuel? Interesting. 9 of Swords, getting stuck in your head. Like I said, there's a lot of energy that is going to these things that are in the drawer, that are seemingly not affecting you or bothering you or not in your face, but they're in your head. And I want to say in your head is worse than in your face. And the 9 of Swords is saying it's time to end this nightmare. So I feel like you are going to actually have a literal experience where you have a dream, you wake from that dream, and you say, no more, I'm done. Today's the day. This is, I need to let this go. This is how I'm going to move forward. And I feel like when this happens, and I just heard the 12th of June. So I feel like it's going to happen sort of, mid-June-ish. When this happens, it's important for you to open up from a heart space. Tap into your heart, dive into that heart energy, and ask the heart how to move forward. How do I proceed? How do I initiate these conversations? How do I get to a place where I can forgive and let this go? Because I know that this really is where I'm at. This is what I need in order for me to heal, in order for me to be able to move forward with confidence and to create the things that I want to create in my life, to have the things that I want to have in my life. It's going to be a deep month for you. Very deep month. Oh, I just hit something and okay, there we go. So deep root. What deep belief, wound, or soul contract is driving this transformation in June under the surface? The Magician. This is really interesting. I'm hearing, and this might be a little bit specific, it might not be to every Aquarian here, the belief that more often than not, people are out to manipulate you for their own gain. As an Aquarian, you understand that you see the world differently. You like to beat to the tune of your own drum. It's important for you to have your independence, to have your freedom. You don't buy into a lot of, I want to say, societal norms. You just kind of figure it out on your own. But that doesn't mean that you don't need people. And it doesn't mean that people can't hurt you, that people can't intentionally or otherwise hurt you. And I feel like that's what this is. There's a limiting belief that is affecting you right now that says, yeah, I can be around people and I'm about people, but I can't really fully trust an individual person because they always have an angle. What is their angle? What is it that they are actually wanting from me? And I'm not saying you don't have, close friends and things of that nature that you don't feel that way with, but kind of the world at large, this is how you feel. And I feel like this is holding you back, because if you really do feel that everybody is coming at you in that way, you're always going to have your heart guarded. You're always going to be protecting yourself in some way. And when we are protecting ourselves in some way, that really keeps us from being able to create the things, I want to say the beautiful visions that we have in our head and our heart. It's a lot harder for us to manifest that into the physical. We always end up manifesting it with a little bit of a twist. And maybe that twist is good. Maybe that twist is part of the path and the journey and you like it in the end. But initially, it's not exactly what you were trying to create. And sometimes that can get in the way of your process. So really look at whether or not that belief resonates with you and whether or not that really actually is true. Is it true? And what can you do to reinvent the story, rewrite the story, to be able to suit you. The magician not only, represents manipulation, but it also represents manifestation and alchemy, being able to take things in the environment and to recreate them, to bring them, repurpose them, to put them together in various combinations and to create something that's even better. And maybe that's you as the magician stepping in. It's not that everybody is manipulative. If there are people who are manipulative and coming at me for their own nefarious purposes or their own gain, I, as the magician, have the ability to take all that energy and to make lemonade out of lemons. That's my superpower, or that is a superpower that I have access to. I feel like that's really, really interesting. This is going to be deep tonight, guys. Past phase, your identity, where you're at right now. What's dying away? What part of you is falling away? And what role, pattern, or identity has run its course? The Knight of Wands. Interesting. I feel like this represents actually a person in your world. And I don't always get that with the royalty cards, but getting that for you today. I feel like the past identity, you connected with another person, you leaned into that person. It's kind of like whenever we need to pay attention to the people we hang around with, the people that we partner with, because ultimately they bring out a particular side or aspect of us. And if they're not bringing out our A game, if they're not bringing out our best, then what is it that they're bringing out, right? And I feel like this in many ways is what's dying away, is this idea that you kind of gave away your power or gave away a bit of your identity, or maybe lost a little bit of that unique approach to life that you had because you were connected to a person that, maybe was a bit dysfunctional, or didn't have a ton of self-awareness, or had a lot of expectation on you, and you leaned into that. You're letting this go. You're no longer going to be highly influenced, I want to say, by others in that way. Again, that magician energy, the manipulation energy, is tied to this person. You recognize it, you see it. That's where that forgiveness piece is coming into the mix. When you forgive, you don't necessarily forget, but when you forgive, then you can let it go. Then you're ready to move on and to move forward. Highest potential. What's your highest and best potential right now? What can rise from the ashes? What is your soul calling you toward? This is important because it's your breakthrough energy. Ten of Swords. Yes. The ending of a cycle, the ending of things that you no longer want. She's wearing pink gloves here, which says to me she is really applying self-love and self-care. She's putting the detail into the self-love and the self-care. 10 of Swords, tens, new beginnings based on an already established foundation. You have 1 in the Magician, which also is new beginnings. So I'm feeling very strongly here that the 10 of Swords is saying to you, when we're talking about highest potential, it's saying you can give yourself this detail. You can give yourself this love, this self-care. You don't need anyone to dictate your life, but you do need people in your life to love and to be loved by. And I feel like that 10 of Swords is coming through to say, yeah, highest potential is to out with the old and in with the new. Typically this is a card of ruin, like you see the dead body and all the, swords in the back. And it can be a very disruptive, disturbing view, right? A disturbing picture and an image. Here, I like this because this is a person who is tattooing that energy on the arm. We don't have to forget. But in the process of the loving detail, the attention to detail, the love, you're eliminating, removing, dissolving the pain. So it's only a remembrance, a reminder of, but you're not living in it. And I feel like that's your highest potential. That's what your soul is calling you to do, is to let all this stuff go and step into the new beginning. It's still going to be a part of you, but it doesn't have to rule you or lead the way. And be loving in your details around letting it go. Interesting. Next step. What's emerging just around the corner? What energy or experience is coming in to support your next phase here in June? Ooh, Seven of Wands. Love this. Okay, so I absolutely love this depiction because when we're talking about what's right around the corner, I feel like this is like a bouncer, right? A bouncer standing at the show, the red carpet. And if you're not on the list, he's not letting you in. I feel like the next step is about that emergence where you're not the bouncer, you're the star that the bouncer has been employed to protect. And this card typically is read as a card of defense. I'm not seeing it as defense as much as it's what do you call that? Like it's preemptive. It's being proactive. And I feel like because I see you as being the star who's not pictured in this card, I feel like the next step for you is to envision what you would be doing if you didn't have to worry so much about manipulative people, if you didn't have to worry so much about people trying to stab you in the back and with their own means and the Nine of Swords being in your head, that nightmare, and the forgiveness and all the things and the stuff. This is what I feel is the next step that you need to take in order to shed all of this so that you can be free of it, and now you can rise, rising from the ashes. Seven of Wands in this case, I feel, is about allowing source energy to do the bouncing, right? To do the navigation of, are you on the list or are you not on the list? If you're not on the list, I'm not even going to know about it because you're doing your job. If you are on the list, yeah, I'm going to figure out that you let that person in because eventually I'm going to see them after the show, right? Trust in source energy to protect you. Trust in source energy to be proactive so that you can focus your energy to other things. Wow, that is just such a huge message for you. What's your role in your life? What role are you playing in your own navigation in this transformation in June? Are you resisting, flowing, grieving, or boldly rising? Oh my God, I love it. You got the sun. Okay, so I'm really feeling here when we're talking about your role. You have the ability to shine your light. You have the ability to draw people to you. You have the ability to, I want to say, to walk in the sun with confidence, not really giving a shit one way or the other what people are thinking or not thinking or doing or not doing. The sun is also saying, and other people are following your lead. So the role that you're playing in the shift, I feel like it's really doing a deep dive, an emotional deep dive, a reflective journey around what is it that you are wanting to contribute, to give to others. Not how do you want others to see you. It's more about the in-service piece. How do you want to be seen? How do you want to serve? Sunflowers are heliotropic, which means they follow the light of the sun, which is why they move. You can see that in a day, the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. You can follow the sunflowers because they are focused on the east in the morning and they're focused in the west at night, at sundown. So I feel like there's consideration here for you in terms of what you're putting out there. And you really are a person that wants to be in service. You want to be helpful. You want to be in a space, in a place where you do matter and make a difference. And I feel like the sun card is coming up in this position to say, okay, if you want to matter and make a difference, you have the option and the choice to walk a path that is going to be open to that is going to invite others into that, or not. But you've got to make the choice. And right now I feel that there's been a bit of closure here, and not closure. That's actually the wrong way that I'm trying to say it. Closure from the closing your heart off, not closure of a situation and peace, closure of your heart because of all of this, forgiveness and not feeling right and, all the things and the stuff. And the sun is saying it's time to bring all of that into the light of day. It's time to see it for all that it really is so that you can release it in order to be able to move on. Step out of the nightmare, allow the sun to heal it, to burn it away, so that you can move forward into, I want to say, the new, the 1, the 10, the new beginning. And 19 is also a 10, a 1, a new beginning, which is important to take note of. Support, circles of support. Who or what is influencing your transformation right now? Is it positive or negative? And of course, that's a judgment that we place on it, of course. All of it, we could say all of it is positive because it's all happening for us. Oh, interesting. 2 of Cups. So all of this heart opening needs to happen because I feel like what you really want is this level of connection and support. What's interesting here is, of course, this is the caduceus connected to the 2 of Cups. The caduceus is, of course, a symbol of healing and, doctors and medical and all the things and stuff, just like this here. And of course, his head is on that. But I'm also feeling a little bit of Leo the lion, especially because we have the sun card here as well. So I feel that there is a connection with a Leo energy in your life, or somebody who has a lot of Leo in their chart. Leos are very heart-based, heart-forward, heart-driven. Perhaps you are learning from a Leo. Perhaps you're going to learn how to forgive with a Leo. But I definitely feel like there's Leo energy here that wants to help you, wants to heal you, wants to support you through this path. I also feel like throughout the month of June, when you need levels of support, it's taking those quiet moments out. It's just taking a little bit of time out, sipping with the coffee. Yes, there's a contract here, but I don't feel that that's relevant right now to what I'm feeling. What I'm drawn to is, the 2 people holding hands, circle of comfort and support, and there's comfort in the tea or the coffee. It's those tiny little day-to-day intimate moments that matter the most. We can plan a big hullabaloo and you're going to have memory about it. But the things that really matter the most are those unexpected intimate moments or the day-to-day grind where you realize I'm so happy to be engaging with this person in this moment right now. And I feel like that is how you're going to be able to support yourself and be supported by those around you as you're going through, this forgiveness journey, because you're doing it for you. You're doing it so that you can move forward into what is coming up next for you. Hopes and fears. What are you dreaming of becoming? And what scares you about actually doing it? Oh, interesting. We have Queen of Swords. So I feel like the fear here, that the Queen of Swords is about boundaries. And I feel here like your fear is, I want to be with people. I want to help the collective. I want to be connected. Maybe I'm introverted. Maybe I'm extroverted. Maybe I'm ambivert. The bottom line is I need people and I'm also afraid of people. I need people and I also don't want people. And I'm afraid that if I establish boundaries, I'm going to just go into my little hidey hole and never come out because it feels safer for me to be here than it does for me to be in my heart space. And I feel like the Queen of Swords is coming through to say, hey, with her open hand, write out the boundaries that you really need. Don't go overboard and then just follow the list. You don't have to just sort of be willy-nilly. I also am hearing extremes. The word extremes coming up. Sometimes with trauma or with hurt feelings, betrayal, things that require forgiveness, there can be this energy of extremes. I'm going to cut you off and cut you out so I don't have to think about you anymore. But really, it's living in the gray areas. And I feel like Queen of Swords is saying, have specific boundaries, but then you can live in the gray areas within those boundaries. She doesn't want to cut everybody's head off, for a small minor infraction. She says, okay, I use the boundaries for the big things. And the little things I'm aware of, and then I can decide how I want to engage with that in other ways. Not every offense requires getting your head cut off. And I feel like this is something that you are expanding a little bit into at this time. It's a fear, but I also want to say the hope here is that you recognize that and you recognize that, oh, I don't need extremes here. that I can set these boundaries and feel comfortable in what those boundaries are and recognize that people are either going to follow them or not. And that makes it easy for you, because if they're following your boundaries, they can stay. And if they're not following your boundaries, they can go, and you don't have to think about it. You don't have to invest any more energy in the boundary itself. The problem solves itself. And I feel like that's really what is coming up in that hopes and fears space. Oh, it's going to be a great, great month for you, an intense month emotionally, but a great month. Outcome, your highest and best outcome. Who will you be on the other side of this journey? And what is the result of embracing the full cycle of death and rebirth? Oh, I could cry for you guys right now. Cry tears of happiness. Ace of Pentacles, planting a new seed. Look at how happy this card is. You've got the mountains, you've got the sky, you've got this ginormous pentacle. It represents success. It represents that new beginning. It represents the potential of prosperity. We've got these lilies, or the what are they called? Not trilliums. It might be a trillium. Anyway, white flowers. We'll call them lilies, trilliums, whatever. Symbolic of source energy, symbolic of rebirth. And how interesting, that was part of the card. And you've got this, this guy holding the pentacle out to you. It's being given to you. And all you have to do is take it. All you have to do is receive it. You agree to say, thank you so much. I'm going to make good use of this. That's all you got to do. You don't have to know how it's going to grow, if it's going to grow, what you need to put on it to grow it. You just need to receive it. Aces are all about that pure potential. And I feel very much that that's exactly what this is about. When you do the work, when you release, when you heal, you create more room for yourself to be able to plant new seeds. And that is what your soul is craving. Limitations inspire innovations. These innovations are not going to show up for you until all of this other stuff is cleared away. And then when it is cleared away and you do have the space, the places you'll go. I mean, look at that seed. That's going to grow a lot of different things. I mean, you could break that seed up into a million different little seeds and look at the potential that creates. Look at all the paths that opens up. But you have to be willing to receive it. You have to be willing to do the work to clear the space to receive it. And that is the ultimate goal for you at this time. Wow, my Aquarian peeps. Okay, so it's going to be a little intense, but it's going to be okay. And understand that the work that you're doing, you're going to be so glad on the other side that you've done it. And you're going to be shocked at how much energy you have been expending in your head, in your mind, about all of this stuff. And now suddenly you're like, oh, there I am again. You're going to get to decorate I always say I have like an apartment in my mind, and every once in a while I rent it out, or I give it out rent free, right? People live rent free in my head, and then I got to do an eviction. I bring the little spiritual sheriff to the door and I evict their ass. And then I get to clean the space and I get to redecorate it. And maybe that's what you're doing too with that Ace of Pentacles, that pure potential. You deserve this. You are worthy and deserving of this, but you also got to make room for it. It's going to be handed to you, but they're not going to do the work for you. All right, that is our reading for June of 2025. As always, sending you guys so much love, so much support. Feel free to drop a like in the comments. Drop in the comments what's going on and how things are going for your month. I would love to hear about it. Take care. We will see you on the flip side. Transform well.